everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we are doing the weekly for the sign of Gemini. We're going to get right into it, Gemini, and pull out your weekly romance angel messages. Just to see what kind of energies you're dealing with in your relationships this week. This is a general reading, and don't forget it is timestamped, so you can go ahead and jump ahead in the description. We have calling in your soulmate, Gemini. We have honeymoon. And we have passion. Wow. Very nice, lovely energies, strong energies for the week. All right. So let's go ahead and pull out your animal spirits and see what kind of animal spirits you're walking with this week. Of course, animal spirits can come in the form of events, stages in life, energies in life, coming in to support you through a particular situation. They can also be indicative of the personalities that you're dealing with. So whatever applies to you, it's fine, and what doesn't, just disregard it, all right? All right, Gemini. Fire ant. Ooh, angry energy, fire energy, of course. We have butterfly, air energy, talking about bringing in transformation. And we have wolf. A regular player in my readings, wolf energy. Interestingly enough, I'm going to tell you why I think that is interesting. Alright, let's get right into these animal spirits before we pull out your forecast for the week. The fire ant. Very angry, irritated energy, right? If you've ever been around fire ants, it only takes a little bit of interference or interaction with them to get them worked up in a frenzy. So we're talking about an individual who is really hot-tempered, hot-headed. They're unwilling to sort of compromise, right? They're very reactionary. You could be dealing with someone like that right now, right? It's not all bad, right? I mean, the fire ant also represents following orders because it's ant energy, but a lot of fire ant energy is really just pure aggression, right? Rigid thinking. It can flare up, out of nowhere, okay? And so if you're resonating with this energy, it could be that you may find yourself stewing on a particular situation. You may find yourself working yourself up, thinking about a particular situation that's got you angry, right? That's if you're resonating with this energy, right? Gossiping, blaming others, right, are some of the indicators that fire ant energy is at play, right? Being angry at the world around you, right? Now, we have all had moments. I believe everyone has had a moment like that where you just feel frustrated, you're angry. But if you're resonating with this energy, you recognize there's certainly time for you to really kind of break away from the drama and try and cool your head down, right? Try and get your thoughts together. Try and get some of that passion out of the anger. Now, we have butterfly energy. Before I move on, as well, if you're dealing with somebody like this who's resonating with this energy, the same applies. Keeping a cool head, keeping calm, right? So that the both of you don't work yourselves up. Now we have butterfly energy, and of course butterfly is synonymous with transformation. It is also the animal symbolic of friendship, right? But more than anything, it shows you that you're undergoing a great change. You're going through a full transformation. Usually this is a transformation that involves air, because this is air energy, but also matters of the heart, right? It usually involves relationships or things in your life that are very, very important to you. If you have a career that's very close to your passion, then it may be a change in career. If it's about relationships, then of course, there you go, right? But because transition does come with a little bit of discomfort, the butterfly comes in to sort of support us. Butterfly energy comes in with a certain sense of optimism. Butterfly energy also comes in to remind us to lean on our friends, to reach out to people who love us, the same people that we would help if they were going through a difficult time, who are there to help us. Don't be afraid to reach out for that, and let your friends and your activities kind of support you, almost like the cocoon. Now we have Earth Energy Wolf, and the wolf is beautiful. The wolf is the pack leader, right? The wolf is the protector of the pack. The wolf energy is very resonates very strongly with anyone who's doing civic work, humanitarian work, who's an activist, people who perhaps are working to eradicate hunger or homelessness, right? People who work for the underdog or the vulnerable groups in our society are resonating strongly with wolf energy. Wolf energy is very practical. It's very passionate in an earthly kind of way, of course. It's very determined. It can sometimes become a little bit too rigid in its moral center, but for the most part, the wolf is a very strong, supportive energy, and really comes in more than anything to support those people who need the most support in our society. Now, let's go ahead into your forecast for the week, Gemini. We're going to pull out about 5 to 8, anywhere from 5 to 8 spreads to see what you're going to be perhaps going through, what scenarios you may be dealing with this week in love, life, and career. All right. Now, again, you may resonate with some or none of these, and that's fine. And if you want to go back over any of the forecasts and review them, again, they are time-stamped in the description. Oof. Cards are flying. Sometimes the cards are like that. They're very erratic and jumpy. Look at this. It's unusual. All right, let's get them calmed and focused. We want a nice, calm set of forecasts. Focused forecasts. All right. Lovely Gemini. Let's get into it. Could be some of that fire and energy at play even now. All right. 3 of Wands, 2 of Wands, and King of Cups. Most recently, okay, some of you most recently have had to be very patient with a particular scenario, patient with moving forward with a particular project. All right. 3 of Wands is talks about, you know, that feeling of really wanting to keep going, but having to wait. Be patient and check the lay of the land, you know, survey, you know, your territory, survey what you have to work with before you make your next move. Interestingly enough, you're kind of coming out of that because you're going right into your 2 of Wands, which is very much more forward action. It may be that up until now, some of you have been very patient with the lover. Okay, you've been biding your time, but now is the time to move forward. Now's the time to make your move because your lover is around. It could be that your person was away, but your King of Cups is back. So King of Cups is certainly a soulmate connection for some of you out there, somebody who's resonating with water energy. And this week you've had enough kind of waiting, you've had enough being patient, you are making your moves towards them. This person is going to be someone who is already very established. They have had perhaps a series or at least a few successful relationships in their lives. We're not talking about a person who is very young at being in a relationship or immature. This is a very mature individual who's come back into your life and you're ready to make your move. Moon energy, King of Wands, and King of Pentacles. Wow, so some of you have met your match in a way. Again, this isn't gender specific, but some of you have certainly met your match. I'm going to say Gemini. There are some of you Geminis out there that are alpha personalities. And your alpha has met up with another alpha. Now, you may or may not, I believe that you probably, Gemini, are probably resonating more with the King of Wands energy here. And your person may be resonating with King of Pentacles. But right now you're at odds. And this could be also because of moon energy at play. You're just not really sure where the feelings are, right? You're not sure what's really going on. You have feelings, you know they have feelings, but it's all very vague, it's all uncertain. Nobody has really come right out to express themselves to the other person. And so right now you're kind of faced away from each other, right? I think this week you really explore this area, some of you with your person. And if you do resonate with King of Wands and your person with King of Pentacles, then that person is going to be indeed someone who's very successful, probably has quite a nice level of abundance under their belt. They have a good reputation for being skilled at their craft, right? The King of Pentacles is a really supportive individual, but he's also a very ambitious, industrious individual. You have your own ambition, Gemini, and so in this way you guys are matched, because this is what I mean with this alpha personality. You're the same way, but you're a little bit more eccentric, you're a little bit more outgoing, you're a little bit more into sort of the creative side of life and maybe less of the business side, but yet you both are very simpatico souls, and so this week you're going to really have to work through this moon energy. Aries, 9 of Cups, Emperor, 9 of Cups, and 9 of Swords. So a lot of you are about 9s, right? Interesting, 2 9s. 9 is the last step before you get to 10, obviously, which is completion. But also in all of the 9s inherent is the energy of the Hermit, which is the major arcana 9 card. And in this way, we find ourselves oftentimes alone. So some of you are really dealing with a lot of issues on your own. 9 of Cups is kind of like, yeah, you've had a lot of wish fulfillment, but that major wish to be with somebody still eludes you. Perhaps because you have concerned yourself with these kind of lesser desires, but now you're realizing your desire to really have a soulmate connection. Same thing with the 9 of Swords. You have a lot of anxiety that you're suffering with on your own. You're having a lot of sleepless nights, right? And this could also be, I'm going to say for some of you, this 9 of Cups and 9 of Swords is coming in on this Emperor energy. It's quite interesting. It's almost as if, Gemini, that for some of you, perhaps your authority in a particular area or situation, right, is being threatened. Right? Because the Emperor is really all about maintaining stability and authority, right? Maintaining control over his land and his dominion and those around him. And so I want to say that for some of you, your feeling of having control over certain areas of your life may be threatened a little bit right now, Gemini, and you're really feeling it harder than you have for some of you if you are not connected with your soulmate. You really desire this, but it's feeling even more. It's impacting your feeling of losing control of your life to a certain degree, or perhaps the control or authority of your life being threatened. And a lot of this is giving you a lot of anxiety. Okay, I think for some of you who have been very career-minded, you may have met a soulmate recently or in the last year or two, and it didn't work out, and you're still kind of like in pain because of it. And you're realizing, for some of you, certainly you're starting to realize now that this pain or this kind of depression or anxiety of not being with this person is now starting to hit you. Maybe at the time you thought you could weather it because you were really in your Emperor energy, you're really in control of your life, you were very much a go-getter. But now some time has gone by and you're starting to realize, oh shit, maybe I should have tried harder with this person. Maybe, because now I'm really beginning to understand what it's like to have everything you want in your life, but not to have the one thing, which is a deep love connection. All right, let that siren go by and we're ready for the next spread. Hanged Man energy, Hierophant, and the Knight of Cups. Wow. Interesting. So Hanged Man, a lot of you, again, so this is kind of the running theme when we're talking about the relationship part. For some of you, a relationship has very much been in standstill. There just hasn't been any growth or forward action, and you desire it. You desire a commitment with this person. Hierophant is coming in, and it could be that now finally the commitment is coming in. The desire for a commitment is coming in. Because you have a Knight of Cups here coming towards you this week. And you may actually see some movement now. It could be that they needed to clear the path to you. This person may have already been involved, or it may something came in between of them really being able to make that connection with you, and you've been very much kind of stuck or in standstill because of it. This week, the conversation about commitment, the desire to have a commitment with someone is discussed. It's discussed between you and your Knight of Cups, your person who's coming in as Knight of Cups energy, and I think it's going to help you come down off of this Hangman energy. This has been a long time coming for some of you. Could be a soulmate that you met even 3 or 4 or 5 years ago that's taken this long to kind of come around and be in a position to make a commitment to you. 7 of Swords, Page of Swords, and 5 of Wands. All right, so some of you are dealing with a lot of really negative energy. Certainly fire ant energy is at play here. 7 of Swords is generally the dream thief. This is the card for the tortoise and the hare, right? The 7 of Swords character is somebody who doesn't want to work for his dreams. 7 is the number for dreams, but this person doesn't want to work for it. They want to steal it. They want to take it from somebody else. They want to cut corners, take the shortcut. They just don't want to do the long, hard work to achieve their desires and their dreams. And oftentimes they come away shortchanged, or they shortchanged themselves. And even in the card, you can see that he's only able to actually carry 5 of the 7 swords because of the means by which he's acting and the way he's conducting himself. It's just it's a futile situation. 7 of Swords is also the card for futility. So oftentimes a lot of these antics, this person never wins, right? Now this could be somebody very close to you. You could be resonating with this energy in the sense that you're being a bit hasty, a bit impatient. This is certainly energy that's fire ant energy, can be. Impatience, right? If you're resonating with this, it's time to slow down. It's time to be more patient, take more steps. Because if you have been resonating with this energy, then you may have also noticed that you've also been wrestling with futility. Things just haven't been working out. You may be also dealing with somebody who's resonating with this kind of energy. But what happens this week is quite interesting. There's a Page of Swords. So there's a new kind of thinking that comes in, perhaps a new communication with someone that comes in, and kind of opens your eyes to this behavior, whether it's yours or somebody else's behavior. This communication kind of opens up your eyes, and what ends up happening is that there's a falling out. There's a confrontation with the 5 of Wands. I want to say the 7 of Swords, it could be as well this week that you find out with this Page of Swords that this person has been somebody very close to you. Oftentimes 7 of Swords can be somebody close to you who undermines you from inside because they're jealous of what you have, or they're envious of what you have. And a lot of times these are people who are very close to us. And so you find out a lot about this situation this week. And I'm going to say, really, I don't feel like most of you are resonating with 7 of Swords. I feel like this is somebody very close to you, and you find out this information, and this week you guys go at it. You have this power struggle or this argument about what's been going on. Justice, 4 of Cups, and Tower. So a lot of you have been feeling really out of balance in your relationships. Maybe you've been giving more than your lover has been giving you. Maybe you've been constantly going back to relationships that are unhappy. You realize you've been out of balance, right? And so justice is coming in to sort of re-establish balance in your life, balance in your relationships. Some of you may indeed actually be waiting for a judgment or a decision to be rendered in an official case or in a business dealing, right? That is going to impact your life or your love life. But either which way, the justice does bring in balance, whether it's an actual official decision or whether it's just the energy coming in, and also your intentional decision and realization that you're out of balance. So what do? A lot of you say, yep, I'm not going to take that cup anymore. Somebody offers you the same kind of empty cup that has brought you out of balance so many times before with toxic or maybe negative relationships. You realize this and you say no. You say, hang on, I'm not ready to go through this again. I'm waking up. I'm growing up. I'm maturing in our relationships. And as soon as you make this decision, you have a tower moment. Oftentimes, a tower moment comes when we finally decide or intentionally take action that is for our betterment. Oftentimes, when you have been living in a particular stage in your life where you've really not been looking out for yourself as much as you should, or you've been allowing yourself to fall into toxic situations, negative situations, codependent situations. A lot of times when you are in those stages and you are wakening up to it, right? Or you're having an epiphany or a realization of your own part to play and how much your decision-making process plays, right, on your experience. When you decide to change that, when you decide to take responsibility for your actions and take responsibility for increasing the joy and the positivity in your life, a lot of times a tower moment will come. All right, this is almost like a natural follow-on. Why is that? Because the universe very, very quickly and very dramatically rewards us whenever we act on pure intention. When our intentions are pure, especially in difficult situations, and they're in line with our spiritual center or our moral code, and we impact the world and our world around us by being intentional, the universe returns in kind. And a tower moment almost always, well, in fact, a tower moment always clears out things that no longer apply, that are not positive for you, and makes room for changes and positivity, growth, and expansion. And I took a moment to explain this because this is a dynamic that happens a lot, okay? And that's why I wanted you to see a lot of times, you know, why this happens, especially when you're making strides for yourself in your life. This is going to be the last spread. This is the Fool, the Knight of Swords, and Temperance energy, which is Sagittarian energy coming in. So some of you are indeed about to make a quantum leap in your own sort of progression and realization with the Fool. The Fool is about to take a new stage in life or start a new stage in life. Oftentimes we talk about the Fool taking a leap of faith. And this is true because we don't really know what the next stage always is. But the Fool also shows up when we take a quantum leap in experiencing or in realization or expansion, right? When we have an experience that expands our understanding or increases our emotional maturity, these things can be considered quantum leaps. They're not definable. They're not linear. They can be quantum leaps because all areas of our lives seem to increase as a result. This is very strong positive energy, definitely something new starting, Gemini. Knight of Swords is coming in with that really strong sort of logic energy, that mental quickness that's needed, especially in times when you're about to start a new stage in life. Really, really supportive. The Knight of Swords also comes in when we're feeling a little bit vulnerable, a little bit apprehensive, especially with the Fool and starting a new stage in life, right? It's about to go down a path that's very new to you. Knight of Swords can come in. Now, this can be a person who comes in to support you through this transition. It can also just be energy inside yourself that you're drawing upon to support you right now. Very much butterfly energy as well. And of course, Temperance is coming in because you begin to understand at some point that you also need to temper. There's a lot of passion happening here, especially if this Knight of Swords is an individual who's coming in to sort of back you. There may be a lot of passion between you and this individual. And so right now, the most important thing for you to do is really to get started on your path here with the Fool, and to not get necessarily sidetracked with this Knight of Swords, and allow him to do the job he's meant to do in terms of just supporting you and helping your momentum to go forward, but not necessarily to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean to say that for some of you, this Knight of Swords might be a love interest. And so your interest in this person may actually divert you from really what you're supposed to be doing right now, which is starting this new path. So temperance comes in to remind us right now to be very sort of tempered in our passions and in our emotions, taking our time, because right now the most important thing for some of you Geminis is to get started on this new stage in your life. This could apply to work, living, school, okay? But it certainly, I'm going to say for some of you, applies to some part of your life that's about who you are and what you do with your life. All right? This is it, Gemini. This is your September 29th to October 5th weekly reading in love, life, and career. I hope it did resonate with you, at least in part. And if it did, please go ahead and hit that bell, hit that subscribe, get notified of my upcoming videos. But for right now, I'm going to say, Gemini, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.